Okay, so hello and happy Saturday, everyone. Today's video is not about any one particular vacuum, but it's a general video about vacuum wands and power nozzles and how they fit under a bed, where the wand swivels, or maybe the wand doesn't swivel, or maybe the power head lifts off the floor. So the original discussion here that was on Facebook was with the Hoover PowerMax power nozzles, where the wand doesn't swivel, okay, the elbow doesn't turn. So what happens is, as your wand goes to the floor, the power heads on these do not lift off the floor. They stay completely flat, but your hose, once it's all the way down, you have an incline, okay, going along, starting with the bracket to mount it to the machine, and it goes up. Incline goes a little higher, okay, because the gas pump handle. So you end up with, at the machine, that's around 2.5 inches, and then at its highest point over here, the metal wand itself, that's around 4.5 inches. Okay, and then if you go to the top of the gas pump, you're at about 6.25 inches. Okay. Now my bed, this is the biggest bed in the house. It's a double, excuse me, double full-size mattress. I measured it, it's 52 inches side to side, 76 front to back. I believe on a queen it's 56 inches side to side, and 80 or 81 front to back. Dimensions for a king I don't know about, and for a twin we've surely covered that distance with this bed. Now I have various power nozzles and machines out in the room. Okay, the Hoover Quadriflex PowerMatic was basically the only one of Hoover's that actually did have the swivel. Okay, so on the machine, the hose would swivel. So when you connected your hose, your wand was flat to the floor. And one good thing about Hoover's was that these power nozzles, let me see if I can get a good angle for you. It's probably going to look weird on YouTube. Okay, but that's flat to the floor. It's crashing down to the floor again. You're still there. Okay, so this one was probably the better design of them with the swivel elbow. Granted, this cord got a little snug over here. But you had the swivel elbow, and then your hose handle went all the way down to the floor. On their earlier nozzle, the Celebrity, which actually, for a better example on this, let me get the hose for it. I just took out tons of machines because I wasn't really sure where this speech was going to lead. Okay. So I'm not even going to connect the wire. But if I just put those on here. Okay, on this one, I'm going to take the hose down to the floor, but the head's actually going to come off the floor on this one. At least I thought. Okay, if I put more pressure on this hose handle, you'll see it's at the point where it just wants to start to lift off the floor. It's still on there, but it's like it wants to. So if it was to go more, that head's going to pop off. So it's lucky that they measured the hose handle as they did, where when this hits the floor at that angle, with the curved wand, and with that curved wand, you're at about that's about 5 7/8 inches off the floor right there. Okay, I'm sorry, 4 7/8 inches off the floor. Okay, at that part of the wand there, and your head is just wanting to come up the floor, so you're actually pretty good on that one. I can actually kick it up and run a test to see if at that point it is full contact. Check that out. Let's see. So you heard it pop up then. Okay, you're still good. That wand going all the way down, you're still good. You still have full contact to the floor. Okay? So for these early Hoovers, you were still pretty good. And let's just see what this does as far as going underneath the bed, how far we get. Okay, So we're going under. Okay, and my hose handle is now 100% underneath the entire bed. So, as far as the other side, even though I'm on an angle, okay, I'm not clear yet on that side because of my angle, but I could definitely go to the other side of the bed, clean all the way under. I've got too many vacuums out here. Okay, bear with me. So now I can go underneath, all the way underneath that bed. Plug this in the end. And clean under there. And there's the headlight coming through. There it is, it's all the way through. Okay. So that's the Hoover Celebrity one. Okay. Now, for the PowerMax heads, I can still get all the way underneath the bed. I don't even have to turn the brush roll on, but we're under. Right here, the hose is just fitting under that rail without scraping at all. So my hand is still all the way underneath the bed right now with that, okay? And if you raise it, you're like just bumping it, but if you do it smooth, you're good. Okay, and then on the other side, there's your power nozzle on the other side of the bed. It's creeping its way through right now. Okay? So I am through. And I do this all the time. But I have never had a problem vacuuming underneath my bed. I wish I had more light under here, but I'm under the bed. Okay? So there's that one. Now obviously the Quadriflex is going to do basically the same because that one does swivel. Okay? Now, on this Eureka, we'll take Eureka out here. And on the Eureka nozzles, I apologize, this video is getting long. So this will go all the way down to the floor. It'll swivel. But when you're... it'd be easier to put the hose on here to find out. The nozzle is lifting up off the floor on this machine. Okay? As I'm doing this. Bear with me. There we go. It's latched. I'm going to plug that in. Okay. So, if I go like this, before my hand gets to the floor, no, that's still on there. That's still on the floor down at that end. If I turn it and I try to go down, I'm now lifted off the floor when I get to about right here, which is, sorry, you can't see anything right now. We're about 3.5 inches off the floor. So about 3.5 inches off the floor, this Eureka Rotomatic power head is now off the floor. Okay? But even with that, you can still go underneath the bed. Okay? And there I am fully submerged under there. Oh, this vacuum smells really good too. But that's completely under the bed. If I swivel, okay, I don't know if you can hear that in the video, but it's off the floor. I can hear that. On, off. On, off. Okay? I don't have a Kenmore Panasonic nozzle to demonstrate, but those ones I have found are the worst at that test. I've had some where it's about 14 inches off the floor, and that's with the blue Intuition nozzle that has the Barefoot brush built in. When your wand is about 14 inches from the floor, your power head is off the floor. Okay, and you are not going to get far at all. Now this is their World Vac style nozzle. On this one, again you have a swivel, but you have the issue that because of where this pedal is to release it, this lifts off the floor too. So here we get our measuring tape again. Okay, we're still on the floor with the handle resting on a vacuum, and we're going to lower it down. Okay, and now we're off the floor. So if you put it back to this point, right here, okay, it's about right there. So at about 4.5 inches off the floor, your power nozzle starts to lift itself off the floor. Okay, and I don't have a headlight on this one, so when it runs it'll be harder to see, but we can see how far maybe we'll get to the other side before it possibly comes off the floor. There we go, I'm poked in. Okay, that's it. Okay, so it's still on the floor and I'm going like this. Okay, so I can go all the way down. And I can get all the way across on that other side. And when it's resting like that, that power head is still on the floor. And, well, it's there. It's just about there. It's just about through. Okay. On the floor. Still on the floor. It's through. Huh. Okay, so there's that one. And then I've done this in the past. I don't really need to do it anymore because I have all canisters. But if I was to take, we'll just use this Decade right here. And we've got to put the height, actually height might be okay at low, that might be right. So we push the handle again, drop it down. Okay, now here, when we get to the point where the vacuum's now resting on the bag, the height, the handle release won't go any more down. So I have to raise the handle up to get the nozzle back on the floor. Okay, let's see, it's about right there, that's about where my knee, where it would rest on my knee. So the height of that handle, you're now at about 7 1/4 inches where the handle is, in order to keep your nozzle on the floor cleaning. Because if your nozzle is not on the floor, you can put the wand down, you're not accomplishing anything at that point. Okay? Now for this one, we are just about to rub on that. Actually, it is rubbing as I push under. I'm basically lifting up on the bed right now with the vacuum. I don't want to do that. Okay, so if we go over here, here it's okay. It's a little better there. I do have a crooked wheel there a little bit. Somebody squashed my bed. Maybe that's why. But here I'm okay. And I'm under. And my cord's hitting. Guess I should have taken the cord off. But this will go into the bed too. Screw it. Here, we'll have some more fun. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, right there, that was actually off the floor. That's off the floor, off the floor, off the floor. I'm completely off the floor. Let's see if we go more on the height. See what happens with that. On. I'm off the floor. I'm only a few inches in, not even at the bottom cord hook, and I'm off the floor. So on this one, this would not be a good choice for cleaning underneath your bed. Okay? So feel free to post more comments, questions, all that type of thing. I hope this video was helpful. Sorry it was a little long, but just trying to explain differences in wands, power nozzles, all that type of thing. Have a great day. Bye-bye.